Sing in me, muse, and through me tell the story of those people skilled in all ways of contending, the Dragonlords, harried by fate and prophecy. Sing of the cities they saw, of the minds they learned of distant people, and weathering many bitter nights and days deep in their hearts, while they fought to save their homes and the lives of all Thyleans. Of these adventurers, muse, most sacred of daughters, tell us in our time and lift the great song again. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Oathsworn, our Odyssey of Dragonlords campaign here at TPK Roleplay. My name is Turk, or Turk Accented. I have the distinct pleasure of being your GM or Dungeon Master for the evening. I also have an excellent group of storytellers with me tonight. And why don't we quickly go around the fire here and let everyone know who you are and what wonderful person you're bringing to the table.
Hey, I'm Comrade Crash. My character's name is Leo Draco, the human paladin, Oath of the Dragonlord. He walks the path of the Vanished One. And next up is Sir Heckalot.
All right, hey everyone, it's me, Sir Heckalot. Tonight I am playing Calliope, the College of Epic Poetry bard, who is also a siren, who walks the path of the Dragon Slayer. Moving it on over to HP.
I am the last hit point hero, and tonight I will be playing Thrynos, the siren sorcerer who allegedly walks the path of the demigod. Over to Tony.
Hello, I'm Tony. Tonight I'm playing Eleonor Legide, the elf prophetic cleric who follows the path of the gifted one. And we'll go up to L.
Hello, I'm playing Plonos, the satyr rogue, walking the path of the cursed one. Now head up to Chrissy.
Hey guys, I'm Chrissy playing Defera. She's a Medusa warlock walking the path of the haunted one.
And with that, our entire group for the most part, there's of course going to be a wide bevy of NPC followers and hanger-oners and donkeys that accompany you on your quest. But with everyone introduced, why don't we take ourselves back into our adventure? Could anyone remind me of what happened last time?
We had a travel episode.
Yes, you did. That was it. Okay, cool. No, I'm good to move on.
There was some light madness.
Yeah,
lots
some
of
light
feelings.
madness.
We took a lot of
also
oaths.
Talked a lot about oaths. We made an oath. Also, let's see, what else did we do? We had varying degrees of success setting up a camp and either hunting or fishing or something like that.
There was no problem with fishing.
No problem with fishing.
Fishing went well. Ponos absolutely reamed us all for moping about through this entire trip, and it was a well-deserved tongue lashing.
To be fair, I forgot we were live, and that was more on me than anything. But
you know, it worked, and it made Thrynos.
in a dramatic turn of events, everyone seemed to cheer up, and he seemed to get ground down. So, go figure.
He feeds on our sorrow.
Well, as you noted, there was a slight bout of mountainous in this last night, but the morning sun crests the hill of the top of the valley that you find yourselves in, and well, I guess the first ones to be up would be up to you all.
I don't sleep, so
Perfect.
Oh, that's right. Eliana was done with sleep by the time everything ended.
You got to observe the rising of the sun, and the rest of your party will slowly, groggily, most likely, given a serious interruption to your REMs, awaken, and you're gonna hear from the back soft coaxing of a fire from Pavlos as he attempts to wake it back up. Sorry if I woke you all. Just getting this a little set up. Maybe put some of this, get some tea or hot water ready. I find it opens the pores and clears the mind for a good day. And
That would be nice. Thank you.
Kira's, of course, sitting on the back of the wine cart that the donkey Apollo is pulling, and seems to be considering a parchment that she's bringing quill to every once in a while. But has not made any morning salutations just yet.
Oh, I'm surprised she's been so quiet.
Well, with how long we've known her, my guess is she's trying to find a rhyme for purple at the moment.
Yeah, I wonder if she's tried silver yet.
No, I'm thinking Nurple.
What would be a purple nurple?
Want me to show you?
Say no.
It's a little too early to be doing these things, Kara. So,
Well, your loss.
right. Well,
Amazing.
Anyway, if you're all gonna limber up and get your morning, whatever that thing is, she says, pointing towards the a small pot that that Pavlos is beginning to bring to a boil over the fire. I mean, I'm ready to go anytime you guys are, and I'm kind of eager. I mean, I don't like the idea of going crazy again out in the wilds. I much prefer going wild in civilized places. It's more socially acceptable that way, because there's a society to accept you in.
right.
Or at the very least, on the third day of the festival, you should probably hold off on any further bouts of madness until then.
So
Then how would we know to
Noted.
differentiate?
Between the first 2 days of the festival and the third day?
Between actual Lutherian madness and revelry madness?
Oh, there's not much of a difference. She is the goddess.
This
of
was my
revelry.
point, Kara.
Well-spoken point. I'll disregard it, of course, but you know.
Shock and awe fills the crowd.
Oh, if only there were a crowd. I imagine they'd be clapping for me. Just kind of like walk on stage. I'm thinking enter stage right.
Okay.
Give them a good wave to the VIP seats first, and then off to the crowd, so they know I'm seeing them, of course, and then I can ignore them for the rest of the show.
So Thranos, how are you feeling today with your consumption of soil?
my consumption of soil.
Mm-hmm. Like last night, you were just shoveling it in.
Ah, well, I think many of us made some, poor decisions the other night.
Just wanted to check up that you're all right.
It stopped, and that's the important thing. And I think that Kira has a point, and getting somewhere else would be good.
I mean, I enjoy this campsite as much as all of you. But, you know, some get this ass in motion. She's, of course, pointing over to Apollo.
Well, cool.
Moving
Let's-
forward would be best.
Yeah, let's head out.
We can take tea on the road, I suppose.
Mm.
Can't we, Pavos?
Yes. Sorry, it's just got to boil, and he'll kind of lift it up and quickly. Apollo does not move very fast. That's why I'm looking to sell him. So why don't you, why don't you get him going? He seems to like you for some reason, and I'll pour out a little bit for everybody. Here, come. And he kind of has it balanced on a branch, and he has a thick piece of cloth, and is pouring it into small little, kind of like clay cups. They seem finished with a kind of resin to keep them from to allow them to hold hot fluids without losing their shape. There's an interesting tea merchant I once encountered in Mitros. Sold me strange herbs that are said to bring vitality and energy into the body. No idea where I found it. I've been searching up and down the coast here. I assumed he found it somewhere around Mitros, but I don't know. He said he got it off of a giant turtle.
And that's what's in the tea this morning?
Oh, yes, but it works. I have tried it many times myself.
Is it safe?
Well, I haven't died yet, and I didn't go crazy.
That is a step ahead of where we are.
It might have very well been the effects of the tea.
Right.
All right.
But yeah,
Renos will partake on the road and start walking toward Estoria.
Yeah. The drink is hot as it hits your tongue. Obviously, if you take it a little with too much gusto, you might get that slight burn on the back of your tongue that is so common with hot drink. But there is a strangely herbal, almost earthy taste to it. Not quite like anything, if any of you have had tea in the past. There's something slightly more, this is going to sound really generic, but spice to it. Like it's just like it's not just the leaf or something. There's just got to be something else,
Like
some
cinnamon?
flavor your tongue doesn't recognize. Thylea is a land of many flavors and spices, but this is certainly not one of them. But begin making your way on the road. Yeah, get some traveling music and take you back to the map as you continue to explore the Heartlands on your way to Estoria. The road again is quiet, not much going on. Clearly not as heavily traveled a trail as others. And eventually catching up with Apollo, as Pavlos did mention, he's not very fast ass, but certainly a steady walking one. And you join along, and Kira's again I found yourself surprisingly able to balance on sitting on the back of a lightly wobbling wine cask, cask. And again, she's kind of penning this one. Actually, Calliope, as you get closer, she'll go, Calliope, why? Tell me, what word rhymes with metal the best, do you think?
Well, depends on what tone you're trying to evoke. Something of beauty, maybe petal.
That's a good answer. That's a really good answer, which is why I ignored it and went with this instead. All right.
So you had to settle.
I'm about to drop a beat. If you could keep the puns to a minimum.
Would you mind if I meddled?
Only if you play treble. Feet on the ground, never ever false metal. Sandals burning hotter than a boiling kettle, she said, pointing towards Pavlos. My job ain't a job, it's a damn good time. Polis to polis, I'm running my rhymes. On location, touring around the nations, oracles chosen, chasing our vocation. Itchy bow finger, but a stable ink quill. I do what I do, not best because I'm hot and chill. Ain't no faking, golden fame we're taking. Going coast to coast, watching all our foes quaking. While you're at your work, son, up to down, oracles chosen in Estoria, rocking the town.
That was wonderful.
Dang it, I was going for terrible.
What? It was great.
No, don't. Y'all enjoying it too much. It's too much of a beat. I need to find a way to break the rhymes here.
Well, why are you trying to make something awful?
Oh, because it's so much more fun. Writing good poetry is easy. Just have to think about it. Writing bad poetry takes real work. We have to think, we have to set people up to think it's good and then ruin it. It's brilliant.
It kind of is.
It's just, oh, and their faces too, they get really excited, or they start, someone will come up and start like contemplating, like, ooh, is that, clever? What is that, the subtext of that? And you're just, talking about a dick or something. It's great. And then you just say dick at the end, and it's just like you watch their face just melt. It's the best.
Actually, does sound pretty fun.
See, I knew I'd teach you something.
Oh, if you're focused on writing bad poetry, you're gonna make it too easy for me. So
Oh, no. I'm going to absolutely blow you out of the water when I actually try. I'm just getting ready. I want to have something in case there's a bit of a rhyme off at the festival. They might ask me to perform. I'm kind of a big deal.
yeah, well, looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
So while they're walking in, apparently I'm already blanking on her name.
Kira.
Kira is just apparently the rap god of the group currently. I'm gonna kind of tap onto Fira's shoulder. Can I talk with you for a moment?
Do you need that to be privately?
Well, just a skip away from the behind a lovely singing person, rapping, lyrical individual.
Poetical
so to speak.
genius works as well.
Your words, not mine.
That's why I write them.
And they'll kind of be a short amount away.
Yeah, you're out of your shot, certainly. Yeah.
Are you all right?
Oh, I'm okay. Are you?
A little troubled, but when you kind of stormed off last night and the whole Lutherian madness, I just wanted to make sure you're fine. You've been
Well,
quiet.
I mean, I did attack my friend. Well, the closest thing I have to a friend, I suppose, since I just met all of you like 10 days ago. Still working the rest of that out, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, that part didn't feel great, but other than that, I'm not necessarily sickly or suffering by any other means. How are you feeling watching all of that? Had to have been hard to watch?
It was a bit disturbing. I'm keeping a close eye on Threnos, making sure he's not gonna be too sick with all the rocks he swallowed. Just keep an eye. But you've just caught my eye after the first time we met and you snipped Ponos's strings. Probably the funniest thing I've seen in quite a few years, honestly. But I'm just making sure you're not upset with the whole distance and keeping quiet.
No, I am a watcher by nature, and I do like a good practical joke here or there, and sometimes that takes some time to warm up to. We'll see how it plays out. I watch people.
Oh.
So I appreciate you asking.
Glad I wasn't being too intrusive.
No, anyone can ask any questions. We just haven't quite done that yet, have we?
I guess not. I've been a little rough around the edges, so to speak, to be fair. But
Rough around the edges. Is that how you're going to describe that?
for now, until someone else comes up with a better term.
You should ask Ponos. I think he'd have a good term.
Oh, gods.
I feel like he would. We should ask him later.
Would you like to do a friendly wager?
Absolutely.
A single gold piece to... I believe he'll come up with something so extraneous and so out of the box that it would just be so hard to understand.
And I'll go the opposite. I'll go straight to the point. Very direct.
It's a deal.
And she will shake your hand on that. And she'll just continue to walk with you very silently, kind of like smiling a little bit because this is the most engagement she's had in a bit, aside from Leo, probably. And Leo talked a lot when we were traveling. So I know a lot about Leo.
And Eliana will just, hands behind the back, clasped. So we make our way to the Estoria.
Yes.
Well, I will say, as you all are traveling, Leo, you're obviously you've been thinking. You've had some thinking time. There's been time to think. You've been getting this kind of pull, kind of. It's like you're forgetting something. Like there's some kind of you walk into a room and you can't remember why, and it's just really bugging you. And it almost makes you want to stop in your tracks and like look over all your things, kind of, what am I forgetting? And it's just like that feeling kind of sticking with you right now. Like there's something you should have done. You can't remember what, or like there's something trying to like poke you or something. You can't quite figure out what that is. And honestly, nothing is happening right now. I just want you to be aware that something's bugging you. But if no one else has any other conversations to do, the party can continue forward through the ridge. Not quite towards the high noon, but around then. Apollo's wheel, one of the wheels on Apollo's cart is going to hit a little bit too high of a rock, and a barrel will fall out off the side. Pavlos will, I'm surprised it hasn't happened before. And if we could just take a moment as he rushes and stops Apollo and goes to get the wine barrel and just. Do you think one of you could help me?
Yeah, let me help you. And then Leo
you.
rushes over and helps him up.
There we go. The sweat on his brow seems much more pronounced. You're all in fairly decent adventuring shape. Pavlos is not. Well, yes, I know some of you are not physically strong, but you've walked a long ways before. And there's a certain constitutional fortitude that is granted to anyone with the adventuring title in their name. Unfortunately, Pavlos, being a traveling merchant, has acquired quite a hefty sweat on his brow and a paunch to his stomach. And those two are working against him right now under what is striking you as a slightly warmer than usual day. the clouds in the sky have actually really not been existent at all, which strikes you as strange given how just yesterday there were plenty, average cloud cover. Sidon doesn't typically like to keep the skies free of his influence, though. This what he will kind of wipe his eye. You think we could take a moment, just quickly, just to take a breather here? I swear we are nearly off the trail. Just a quick ways through the woods and we'll be good. I don't know how you will do it.
Are you all right?
Oh, I'm good. I just need a moment under the shade and perhaps give a Bolo a few carrots. It's our potentially last trip together, and I want to make sure he's nice and fat in case someone wants to pay to eat him. And the donkey will headbutt him to the side there. But it's true. They might want to eat you. They might want to eat meat, but I won't sell me. It's bad business.
Clear skies are a good omen.
Yeah.
You think so? It's very hot though. And he'll just kind of take a seat. I have some more trail rations, some dried meats. If anyone would like to join me for a brief lunch.
Are you sure you're all right?
Just a moment. I'm not as young as I once was, rather. Ugh.
I vibe checked that. Like, I'm just like a little, I'm a little worried.
No, sure. Make me a medicine or insight check.
Okay.
Can I help her?
If you two want to collaborate, you can certainly do so.
If you want to roll that insight with advantage, I do have proficiency.
Okay.
Additionally, I will
well,
remind you
I'll
all,
do it
if
again.
you've kept track of the bonuses that chat gave you last session, those have carried over.
Did. Yeah, no, we're gonna take the 19 on that.
Okay. You can tell he had a rough night last night, and while he might be, a little dramatic with his way, he does seem a bit tired and like he would normally be taking rests, but hasn't really had the social clout in this group to bring that up yet on the 2 days you've been traveling thus far. So he's been pushing himself a little bit, and with the added heat, it's been it's just a little much. He just needs a quick sit. He's not like his chest isn't heaving, he's not clutching at anything, you can't hear any trouble in his breathing. He's just tired and needs a moment in the shade. He's a fellow of a certain age and athletic build. But yeah, for a moment you're all once again in this quiet cavern in the stream beneath you. Is there anything anyone would like to do in this brief interlude?
I'd probably sit down and kind of join, take a little bit of my rations out too, and just kind of eat. Not necessarily say anything, just be around, be closer.
Thank you for resting. Yeah, please. It's good. It's I said elk, I believe they've salted it. It's so it's good though. It's very good. It's a little too salty. I've been told by medicos that I should probably not be eating as much of this as I am, but damn if it isn't cheap to carry. He's sell to merchants too, it's protein. Is that this what they called it?
Yeah.
Balances the humors.
I'll kind of find something worthwhile to do, create water.
Sure.
Like some kind of like bowl or basin, something to work
He
with.
has some drinking, and he does have the pot that he poured his tea from, so you can definitely create some cold water in there and have that poured out in the same teacups you used this morning.
Just, if you need to splash your face.
Oh, that would be very nice. And he'll clearly empty out the last of his water flask and pour a little bit in before, obviously allowing the rest of you. Please fill up your flasks and all that. I don't know how you all do it. You all just started being adventurers. I wouldn't believe it. Strong legs. Oh, I'm envious though.
I don't know. So, if you do need breaks, you can just ask. We're just people. I don't know. People are, saying, we're these prophesized heroes and everything, but at our base, we're just people, right?
Kind of looks you over. I mean, I don't know. You're able to literally sing everyone into good mental health. That's something. I mean, from what I've seen, you're all inexplicably combat trained in one way or another. Killed the giant boar. That's something. But I will let you know in the future. Or perhaps I will have this poetess teach me how she sits so gracefully upon the shaking barrels. Kara will kind of... It's a skill and a curse. Everyone wants to learn. End up with a lot of broken butts. Ooh, that's a good one. Sit down.
As we've been traveling, I think Leo's been just thinking about the thing that's been bugging him. When it finally hits him, that's what a purple nurple is. Okay, I think no, something else. And then I think he concentrates like deeply within. And he utters like a silent prayer. And he casts
You hear this long stretch. Oh. What is it? And you'll feel a sudden wriggling and light squirming, accompanied by occasional prick of light claws on your back, rather on your shoulders, as something seems to kind of nestle in onto across both your shoulders, a little tail kind of hanging like a one-sided tie.
hello, little one.
Oh, is that what we're gonna call me?
No, let's call you Mikros. As this small blue pseudo dragon appears on Leo's shoulders. He's lean, but well, you've never seen a dragon, but it's a tiny dragon. Or it's like a big dragon, just smaller, pocket size.
Quickly, is my sound coming in better now? No. Okay, let me play around with this. Sorry. Better.
Yes,
better.
there you go. There you
Okay,
go.
cool.
There you go.
All right, that was weird. Anyway, yes, a blue pseudo dragon curls onto your shoulders and lazily kind of puts its head on your right shoulder and blue tail, yeah, swinging down on your right. Well, I guess that name works. But if we're something grander, I think. But it'll work. It'll work.
And then I go over to Defera and show her, and it's like, I used to raise these when I was little. They'd always bite me. But
oh, I bet you taste terrible.
Yeah, of course.
No wonder no one of us ate you.
Well, some tried, but you would wriggle out.
So Leo, is your pseudo dragon talking only to you, or can Defera also hear it?
Oh,
It's just a mental telepathy.
Okay, so
you
it
hear
just
it-
looks like Leo's just chatting with himself very heavily.
But no, there is definitely a pseudo dragon on his shoulders.
So he's just like chatting, just a
It's
non-responsive.
like someone
to me.
talking to a cat, and it's kind of going like a oh, I can't do cat noise.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
Has that always been there?
No.
Good.
Oh, I thought we were all suffering madness again.
I was
You know,
I know
left
I didn't
over
that,
from
but-
last night.
I did not take my incense like at all, so I know this isn't some hallucinatory thing.
Leo?
Where'd you get that, Leo?
Where'd you get those, Leo?
Get what?
These people.
Oh, they're my friends. This one's my best friend.
Best. I don't know about that, but I guess we'll see.
Well, not you. You're a good friend. Talking about Defera here.
I know. We'll
No.
see about best.
Oh,
We'll put a comparative scale on things. Loyalty, care of eggs, that kind of important thing.
how true. Hmm.
Kronos, do you know what was in that tea?
I'm starting to get concerned.
I'm very concerned, and I'm ready to just use up the bit of energy the 5 offer to make sure that I'm not going absolutely insane.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Kira will. I don't think any of you are going insane. I mean, it's just probably communicating telepathically.
Yes,
Okay,
but where did it
why
come
doesn't it-
from?
And where does it go?
Well,
Go wherever it wants. And then I think I kind of grab him. And,
okay. This is.
and then just, he has wings.
You're
and then I-
new, so I'm going to allow this to happen.
And then I toss him into the air.
And he's just kind of like, oh, and like land on
And
the ground.
oh,
Oh, if you catch him.
no. I'm hoping that he flies and then.
Why are
Well,
Yeah.
They
Throwing
usually
it.
fly. No, he's just being dramatic.
And he'll stretch on the ground and kind of like look up at you, and everyone else will see the squint, that very human emotion that pets can do. Again, you're new, so pretend that didn't happen, but
I'm sorry, I thought you could fly. And
I can when I want to. And his wings will stretch. But I don't want to right now, which is why I appeared on your shoulders rather than some giddy little fairy appearing in the air.
So is it like a child or
Hmm.
He's not a child. As I gingerly pick him up and it's fine. And then I put him around my shoulder again.
so it's not a child, and just like everything that's happened thus far is said otherwise.
This one has opinions. We might get along eventually.
Does it have what was its name?
Mikros.
It'll
Can you
raise
spell that?
it'll raise its head slightly as you do that and look as if waiting for everyone to heap some kind of praise on it.
Oh, it was the Grand Mikros.
Yes, better.
Just Mikros? Just
Mm-hmm.
so is this supposed to be your dragon?
No,
Or-
silly. I can't ride him.
This is why I was asking.
No.
No, he helps me,
Oh, well. Grand.
Behind you. Right, well, why don't we ask 20 different biological questions about where Leo got his dragon, his pseudo dragon there a little later, and we get back on the road. Looks like Pavlos is catching his second wind, right? And he's kind of like halfway through chewing a piece of jerky. Sure, why not? And she'll like pull him, help like grasp his arm and help pull him up. Well, if you're all ready, and Sergeant Snooty Shoulders over there is all set and accommodated with the group.
Is that Mikros?
She is pointing at Mikros, and Mikros will kind of just look at her up and down and just and like look at you, put like a head gaze over towards you, Leo, and then kind of just like take his head in his hand and close his eyes.
He's ready.
Yeah, I could understand the sassy little thing he did. Okay. All right. And you all continue on. And just as Pavlos promises, very nearly shortly afterward, you continue on and hit a corner as the canyon kind of naturally deposits you into a bit of wooded area. Finally, on a much better traveled path, if not less rocky and more flat terrain. You understand they're a very short distance away from the northern gates of Estoria. I'd say about 2 hours later, it's just a little bit past midday, around probably 3 p.m. The sun is beginning to fall out of the sky, but still plenty of time left in your journey. You'll actually see other people gathered in the road. It's a group of lightly armored people, some side swords, some with spears planted in the ground. They all seem to be sitting off to the side of the road, nursing to wounds. One of them rolling what seems to be not entirely clean bandages around one of their arms, another's arm, rather. And as the let me bring you over this map here. As you approach, the one wrapping the arm will turn to you. Hoy there! Greetings, you all. You don't suppose that we might be able to get your aid here? We were attacked by savage centaurs.
Savage centaurs.
Yes, very savage. Wasted it twice. You know, they come here and they're raiding the entire northern area of Estoria. We got caught up in an attack here, and wasn't much good for us, as you can see.
Can I vibe check that? Like, does that story kind of play out to me as a native Estorian?
Sure. Make an insight check and give yourself a +2 for being a native.
+2.
10.
10. So no, this is actually be fairly common that Estoria is famously a bastion land. It's the most aggressively settled city, as you have learned in the past, named for Esther Arklander. It makes a lot of sense that this would be a very forward leaning placed city into natural lands of settled races. And to put it into larger perspective, the heartlands here, basically, yeah, it's right before you get into the wilds of northern Thylea that you would hit Estoria. So centaurs roving this area, cyclops, very, very rarely Gigans, if ever. It's like kind of almost a myth that you probably would have heard as a child. But it's not an uncommon story. Like, you understand the tension between the settler races and the native races of Thylea. Centaurs are a native race.
I'll like, yeah, I can tend your wounds.
Oh, thank you. I think we might have underestimated them. We were just trying to get back around and maybe set up camp for the night, and they hit us. I think they might be coming back, though, just to give you fair warning.
Well, why don't you go back to Estoria for the evening?
You gotta. Well, we would, but we are actually on our way eastward, your direction. We'll be heading the way you're coming.
May I ask why you're going to miss the festival?
Oh, the festival. One of the men in the back kind of like, oh, missing the festival. Oh, it sucks. What? And he gets like kicked slightly. We'll just be on our way,
So you're leaving Estoria just as the festival begins, well armored, and immediately ran into centaurs and need help.
Well, these are dangerous lands, and the southern entrance, the southern gate is clogged and just as hairy through that path. This would be faster and safer, we thought. Your travels here proves that. We will likely be heading into the mountains ourselves.
I'm implying that you're not going to make it very far.
Oh, well, that's why I'm hoping you might be able to help us.
All right, well, let me see which one of you is hurt.
Yeah, I'm just walking up with Eliana and just like kind of passing eye over. Do the injuries that were incurred at all like look like something that would be caused by an ambush, or does this seem like it's something that would be caused by like initiating some type of fight?
So I'm gonna say again, this is I didn't think I'd be asking for this kind of roll twice a night, but make me either an insight or a medicine check.
Okay.
Anyone also looking to feel out this group can make similar looks if they want to.
Okay. Because
Probably
yeah,
gonna end up using my +2 from purple. We're gonna see.
And yes, remember all your bonuses.
Yeah, I'll just use it for a 12. Why not?
Okay. Just want to check if anyone else is jumping in. Eliana, start checking out their wounds. You can also make me a medicine check.
yeah, I was gonna say whatever one they're gonna show me, and I'll take off the bands just to see their stuff. And a 15.
Okay. Is anyone else gonna roll anything, or are we good? All right. Just want to check. So Eliana, you are directed towards the man in the back here. He appears to have a fairly serious gash on his arm that is cut in a bad direction up towards his bicep. Like he was trying to hold a shield, but the opponent was taller than him and was able to swipe down with a finely cut blade. It's a clean cut. It's hasn't broken any bone, but it is deep, and likely, if it's not in need of some sutures, bandages, I guess will do. Bandages and a hope and a prayer.
Well,
I mean, it's clear they've probably applied some kind of healing potus. I mean, it doesn't look great in there. There's not any rot, though. I mean, this is very clearly a recent wound. Calliope, looking over their general wounds, something you are going to notice with the 12th is a lot of these wounds are on their fronts, not their sides or backs, frontward facing wounds. I don't know what you know about battle, but some generals would brag about that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, looking over the fact that he has a deep laceration to his left arm. I'll just kind of like wave a hand over and cast Cure Wounds, kind of stitch it up.
Okay.
Shit, max
Ooh,
heal.
Wow, generous.
I because later I'm sure I'm gonna roll minimum when I need to.
Well, I can tell you right now, his eyes flash as the wound closes and scars almost immediately as you wave your hand over it. The muscles binding themselves back together in the skin, knitting into what is going to be a very interesting wound, very interesting scar rather, to talk about at parties. Though he does seem to have a little bit of limited range of motion in his elbow for the moment. You know how these things go. You can't always have that.
Might take you a few days to get full
Oh, thank you.
movement, but the next time you're in Estoria, I suggest you pay a small reverence to the temple.
Why, I will. Here, believe me. I just never thought leaving Corteris would get us in so much more trouble.
What?
It's someone we used to travel with, merchant caravan. And he's like looking behind you, and the rest of you are able to see they're all like kind of looking back at him.
You know, I still have plenty of energy to make sure none of your wounds are going to fester and turn into, little pieces of rot that are going to leave you scarred and possibly limbless. Would you mind being a little more informative?
I don't think I should do that.
But I think you should.
I have a very, very good arm now. Would you like to make this an intimidation? It sounds like it's
it's not
could I-
meant to be.
Could I
on
say
a-
over her shoulder, I think you want to help us, and cast Song of Sorrow to charm him.
yes, you may.
I need a wisdom save, please.
Okay, I can tell you right now, he's probably not very wisdomous given how much he's already spilled. But we'll see. Oh boy. That's a 7.
Okay. I am now a friendly acquaintance.
So, of course, we used to run with some poacher named Cortera, steal some horses and stuff from the halflings, but that got old, and Philactus here said we'd probably make more money attacking people coming off the eastern road here, and the centaurs came around, and that look at this thing. What a story I could be able to tell people. And like everyone else and the rest of them will kind of look at you and
I had a suspicion it was something along those lines.
you're not going to blame us though, are you?
I'm sorry
For
for
what?
banditry.
Admitting to jumping travelers.
And not only
travelers, they are
not
invaders.
only are you foolish enough to do that, you do it, and I'll point like right over to the war nation that is Estoria, that creates some of the best warriors in Thylea.
So yeah, the centaurs aren't travelers. They're invaders. And you're going to harangue us over that?
You sound just like Estor.
The confusion.
Estor is a great hero. Everyone knows the story.
I figured there'd be a blue stripe
Right.
flag.
I'm going to
What?
suggest you move on and not return.
I
I'm
say
going.
this as a friend. Just head back to Estoria and find something else.
Can't go back to Estoria. We aren't welcome in Estoria. I will tell you. How about I offer you an option? You walk on, or you start emptying your bags. And you'll see some hands start shifting to spears and siphons.
I look over my shoulder at Leo with a dragon wrapped around his neck and a sword. Glance down at our heavily armored elven friend that just used a spell on them.
You believe you know the story of Estor, huh? The man who claimed Estoria from the Gigans. Is that right?
Gigans aren't real.
Oh. I've seen them.
Good for you. So why don't you empty your bag with your little fairy tale book?
Because I do not fall to the pathetic who claim dominion over others.
It sounds like it's time to roll initiative, folk.
Yeah. As I grab my spear.
Ah! All right.
Like, I
Let's
don't want to
throw
start
on-
the fight, but I want to fight. the people.
No!
Oh, wait.
Garbage initiative ruins me.
Okay. Da, 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 da. Oh boy.
I'm about to get
All right.
jumped.
Let me add your
I'll
turn
join
on
you
here.
down there. Tony.
Thanks.
19. Enter. She was only 19.
I love how I look down to roll a dice, and when I look up, Comrade has a helmet on. It's perfect.
I was ready for battle.
No, I just saw the subtle like put the helmet on, like, okay, we're
It
fighting.
was-
All
I
right.
never,
it
I
was
never see it happen. It just
very
happens.
Oh, it was very good.
Okay. And put this in descending order.
And
Ponos! Oh, sorry. Leo, what's up?
Leo's 10.
Leo
Good job,
is a
man.
10. Oh, sure thing. Leo's always a 10.
Out of.
5.
Oh, shit.
Be nice.
What? He said out of 5.
10 out of
So 10 out
5 is-
I know,
Super
I
nice.
know. But you asked out of. Come on now. Anyway, Ponos, it is your move.
I needed clarification.
So Ponos has spent most of the time kind of hanging at the back, just watching all of this unfold, with kind of just leaning on his spear and smirking as he watches Eliana get more and more irate with these this kind of rabble, and just really soaking this in and enjoying it. And as soon as it kind of reaches breaking point where they all start to reach for their swords and shields and spears, Leo pulls on his helmet and Eliana like raises her spear. He's just gonna just Cool. So this is the work of heroes, is it? This is what we do now. Okay. All right. And he'll jam the spear in the ground and pull from his back his violin and the bow, and just draw it across in a horrible screech and cast Sleepy Time. Sleepy Time for angry bandit boys
Okay.
to 21 points of sleepiness.
Okay. And that's not a save. That's just have enough strength to push on.
Yeah, that's 21 points of people go to sleep.
Okay. 6, 12, 18. And that's gonna, the front 3 will fall and fall to the ground, quietly snoring in the afternoon sun.
Just look at the rest of them and just go, shh.
Is that your turn? Okay, Defera.
I believe Ponos is located to my south, so I will glance over my shoulder and go, there's 2 left, bud.
There's
So
actually there's 3.
Just kidding. There's 3 left, but what are we doing about them? Like hoping that there's like another option if we're trying to not kill them, because if not, she's going to cast and if he does not respond, she's going to cast Shatter. And she shall.
Okay. That is a con save, I believe, from everyone,
Yes.
including Eliana, unless you have a shape spell or some way to help someone who's in your range. Eliana is amongst them, having treated the rear member of their group.
I got
Oh
nothing.
no.
Okay, Eliana, also make me a Constitution save. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey. I made it.
Okay, what is
Just
your
barely.
DC 13? Okay, one of them is gonna make it and take half. Let's do this from left to right on my screen here. This
Oops, I
guy.
hit it again. Just kidding. Don't
No,
pay attention to that second one.
You're locked in at the DC 13. This guy, you see the blade blast him, and bandages and stuff seem to fly off his body as he tumbles over once and does not seem to be moving. This guy rolled a 16 even with disadvantage, so he's going to save for half, which is not going to leave him looking any prettier, but will definitely wake him up as he is propelled slightly this way. This guy is going to join his first brethren and fall and be blasted right in front of you, Calliope, as he face plants right into a muddy puddle and doesn't seem to be getting up anytime soon. And this last guy, second to last guy, is conscious, but not for long, because he rolled 6 total, and is also going to take a trip into the mud. And guy who is just healed and is your best buddy forever, rolled a natural 1. And Eliana, you are going to save for half by 1. And you'll watch as your whole body vibrates with energy as this guy just kind of, the wound you just closed opens, and he just basically the front part of him, just random bits and pockets of lightly held together skin just burst, and he just pushed back from you. And their brave and industrious leader will make his save and will just make it for half. He's not looking great, as you see. Similarly, slightly better armor will vibrate and clatter, but he is not enjoying what you just did. And you effectively, I would say it's a decimation, but that feels like an insult to your effectiveness, given that you've definitely taken out more than 1 in 10. Rhinos.
Thurnos will turn to Ponos and say, heroes. Maybe. Them? I don't know what else we could have done with them. And I'm going to cast Scorching Ray. I'm going to send 1 at the guy that saved, that's a little dude, and the other 2 at the leader.
Okay. Perfect. The big dude is obviously, of course, going to turn to you, to Farah, and I will bury you ass up.
That's a sentence.
Oh, yeah, I know. Wasn't my best. 12 to hit on the first one.
That's the first one. Yep, just a little.
That
bird.
will connect.
And that is 9 damage, fire damage to him.
Just connects with his chest, leaves a nice scorching blast into in between his pectoral. 9 won't connect, but a 19 definitely will.
Okay.
Roll me that damage there.
So that'd be another 9 fire damage to the leader.
That will hit his lower abdominal and scorch away the armor there, and he'll twist in pain. Guy Given there are no more bandits, their turn will pass quickly, except for the fact that you begin behind you in the wood line, can start hearing thundering of hooves. As a centaur will break the tree line here and stand at attention. The clatter of combat seeming to have drawn them in. They draw two long swords, Zephon's curved, and we'll kind of point them towards the closest person, being Leo. Explain.
Explain what? As Leo has his shield up, like just like pivoting towards him.
It is your go.
Oh,
Let me also show the art for Centaur. Despite the art, they are not all female, rather. This one is.
oh, okay. Sweet. I think Leo moves a little bit forward, but like just keeps the distance. And
Question: what languages do you speak?
it was just common and Elvish.
Okay. Continue.
Yeah. So I was just like, are you friend or foe? As I hold up my shield and have my sword just ready.
And you'll hear some confused, like trying to parse out what you said, like something said in a language you don't totally recognize, but you heard kind of enough. Like
I think then Leo kind of lowers his shield a little bit and yells even louder, "Are you a friend or a foe?"
And the centaur will like get up onto the two back legs and stomp on the ground in front of her. Again, swords pointed up at her. Explain. And you'll hear more thundering hooves continuing to come as there's a second and a third. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
No, I'm just gonna just hold my action. If anyone comes near me, like with an intention to attack me, I will swing. But right now, I'm just gonna hold.
Calliope.
All right. Just gonna kind of look at what's happening over there and glance down at the dead guy in front of her, glance at the others, and just look at the one that's left and just say, well, wouldn't you know, you seemingly have invaded on our patience, and I would like to cast vicious mockery, please.
Okay. That's a charisma
Wisdom save.
Wisdom. Oh. 5.
That will fail. Great, 1 psychic damage. You have to be kidding me.
Just mockery always feels
worst.
like that.
That's the worst. I really wish I could write a verse of tragedy at my own shit.
You see his eyes kind of like think about it, and he's not completely destroyed by your harsh truths, but just kind of like he's a little bit off his game, especially with the entry of the centaurs. Eliana.
Yep, walking right up to him and with non-lethal spear.
Non-lethal spear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that will hit.
For 5 damage.
Okay. You conk the back of his head, and he's just, as he's kind of standing there, just, and he's going to collapse forward. The question is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
just kind of walk up and make myself a little more of a barrier between, the centaurs and squishier people.
So this is where I ask, does anyone else have any moves aggressively towards the centaurs at this moment? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear initiative for the moment. I'm going to keep the list up. As 2 more centaurs break through the tree line. And they are going to slowly walk up. This one holding eyes with you, Leo. And this one will move over to towards the dead body. If anyone speaks Sylvan.
Theranos will speak up, yeah. Say, in Sylvan, Leo. And in Sylvan, I'll say, have these been a problem?
This one appears here to take the lead as they'll move up to you. Armored human torso rolling down to cover the front legs slightly with armor. These ones pursued us, attacked us as we were traveling these roads that they've made. Are you with them?
We are not. We did this to them.
Indeed, but it could be a ploy. An act of... What is your word for it? And we'll switch to common. Fear.
So we killed 5 allies and knocked out another out of fear.
To earn our pity, perhaps?
There's one still living, if you have justice to dole out for their crimes.
I do. We all do. The tribe does. They will feel our justice. The question is, Winged One, do you deserve it as well?
I think we are some of the few beginning to understand what really happened here so long ago.
Maybe a persuasion check.
I'm going to use the +2 for every little bit I can get. Because I rolled a 2, which only brings me up to a 9 with my +2.
I'm gonna let you know.
Well, I will say, sorry, just mechanical question. Considering he's talking to them, sirens do have advantage on persuasion checks with their voices. I don't know if this counts.
Really?
What's this?
They do. I don't know if it's supposed to be singing or if it's just voice.
I mean, I don't know how you would persuade someone with your voice if it wasn't talking, but
yeah.
I'll allow it in this instance.
Huh. We do. That's weird. Yeah.
Welcome to Thylea.
Made with my voice, enthralling voice. That is fantastic. I will definitely roll that again and still take my 2. Oh, button. Where's the button? Sorry. Persuasion. Another button. All right. How about an 18 with the +2?
He'll look you over. Look to the rest of your group. Leo, are you still holding defensive posture? Ponos, what's your stance like?
Equestrian.
Understandable.
I'm going to use minor illusion to put the back of a horse on my hips so that I look like I'm a centaur now.
Mm-hmm. A little
Just
bit shorter,
gonna get that
but
there.
definitely like like a Shetland pony centaur.
Yeah, just like bump
Well,
back half
Sebastian.
straight on. And it doesn't move. Like I can make it move when I move, but the legs don't walk. It just like it's like hover
Oh no,
horse.
he's glitching out.
So the front works, but the back legs just like hover around.
Defera, your posture.
Watching Ponos giggling,
That's fair.
probably attempting to cover my face.
Eliana and Calliope, are you guys putting off any aggressive vibes or?
No aggressive vibes, just very similar. It's just that's what's happening right now.
More defensive, just eyeballing the three by me.
Okay. The centaur will stand above you and then point one of their swords towards the knocked out leader, and speak in Sylvan to the one closest. Collect their body. They'll be a worthy sacrifice to Sydon tonight. And sure enough, the centaur will kneel down, his front legs, pick it up, throw it on their shoulder, and I don't know who you serve, winged one, but I hope we never cross blades. Fear of your safety.
I also would not like to cross blades with you.
I know you.
I didn't get your name.
You will hear it when the storming of hooves meets ground and your cities are trampled into dust.
Maybe we can find another way.
You're one of the boring ones. Very well. Leave with your lives. Loot the rest if you want. We care not for their profit. We have our justice. And they'll clear out.
So they're going to take that one back and almost certainly execute him as soon as they get him into camp. They are unappreciative of us in general, but there won't be a fight this time.
Not surprised that they're a little harsh. I'm not too fond that they're going to just kill him.
Well, he's already lived longer than his friends.
Yeah. Doesn't feel right, though.
How would you see it going differently, Eliana?
Pay for his crimes.
In what court?
Estoria? I don't know. I just don't care to just waste a life like that.
We've seen firsthand the crimes that have been thrown upon these who live in the wilds.
Yeah.
We would turn and send these bandits to what? A sympathetic magistrate?
Better than just more bloodshed. That's what we're trying to avoid, isn't it?
Trying to avoid the end of the world, and there are many things that can end the world. The miscarriage of justice, as much as fire from the sky.
I feel like a centaur is too much animal because it's technically like 2/3 of a horse and then half a person, and that maths doesn't add up when you're trying to add fractions with improper values, I guess. So it ends up being more than one animal,
Well,
right?
Ponos,
2/3
you
plus a
have-
half is more than one.
You have horns on your head, the beard on your face, the legs below, and those tufts of fur along your forearms. You're about 3/4 goat, aren't you?
So if I was a centaur, but all of me is 3/4, but then I have 2/3 of which I take up a third of, so I'm 3/4 plus a third, I'm still more than one if I was a centaur, even though I'm less than a person. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, but also, nature is mysterious. Bees technically aren't supposed to fly.
I guess the wingspan of a bird, it would be. It's difficult because you're not measuring merely length, but also width and breadth. So call it a half, and then you're more than half a person. In fact, you're a whole person plus half a bird, right?
I guess you could see it that way.
So I guess you're like a sky centaur, or a centaur is just ground sirens.
Sorry, did you kill them all with semantics?
I mean, I've had a lot to do back here. It's been a busy day for me.
I can tell you've formed a whole extra half.
Of course,
I'm a
he's
gorilla,
always
not a
been
shark.
more than just a regular person. We know this.
Well, if the way is clear, I'll go grab Pavlos and Apollo. And gosh, I really want to say get that ass moving, but I've said it a whole bunch now, and it kind of lost its splendor. Who thought traveling with donkey would be so shitty?
Are bandit groups like these common up here, Kira?
I mean, up here, probably not. No. It's probably just things getting bad, That makes sense. A lot of raids. Northern lands can't be used. I don't know. I didn't think we'd run into them, but well, I'm glad you handled them. Except for the bodies. Was there a talkie one? Where did he get off to?
The centaurs took him.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe there's more, but bandits aren't really your biggest worry. All fairness, it's not enough of you all, the humans, It always seems to be humans being bandits, Never got that. Never seen a dwarf bandit. I think it's because humans fuck more. It's probably that, right? Just a general lack of, no, talking too much. I'll go get the donkey. Okay. Cool. And she'll kind of turn. And unless you guys want to loot the bodies or check anything else out in this area or say anything else, I'd say about now is a really good chance for us to take a quick little break because just over the next hill, I'd say Eliana can just about spot a tiny little flag that looks to be in friendly colors. So we will be back very shortly. We're going to take a quick moment to get up, stretch our legs, fill our liquid receptacles, and handle anything else. And we hope you could do the same as well and join us back very quickly. But for the moment, thank you all so much for hanging out with us thus far, and we'll be back very soon. HP, please take us out. To intermission, not out. Everybody, welcome back to Oathsworn onto the Dragonlords campaign here at TPK. I'm going to bring us over to the traveling map since our group has soundly dispatched a group of bandits who attempted to win the group over to their side. But back on the road and heading along this much flatter and easier to walk past. Oh, sorry. You begin, like I mentioned, just over this next high semi-mountain in front of you. As you're beginning to round, can make out the similar symbol that is on Eliana's shield. It is almost most definitely the flag of Estoria, and I'm not certain if Eliana would have taken this path. The southern route would have probably been the safer way for you to begin your journey, especially towards Sour Vintage and the Heartlands. But the situation, if you did head this way, has certainly changed, especially. As you look to your right, grassland is going to be stretching far across the horizon as far as you can see. Sun shines down from the perfect cloudless blue sky. A refreshing breeze seems to hit you as you are getting closer and closer to this mountain. It seems to pour down and provide some relief. You see Pavlos take a moment and just let the wind hit him as the sweat is kind of softly pushed off of his brow, but he will continue the pace. And it will continue, and that breeze will continue on through a long field of green grass. But the picturesque serenity of this image is offset with what you now understand to be the dangers lurking in the wilderness, as additionally to your right and indeed to the north, as you continue along, you can see what appears to be large dust clouds from what your best guess would be a large centaur group, tribe, or even an army, honestly. And you can continue making your way, unharried at this moment, as fast or as slow as you want, but certainly at the whims of Apollo, the ass, for anyone just joining us. But shortly, you're able to begin to make a bend over, and a large bridge is built over the Archelon River. And doing that, you can finally get a view of Estoria. As I quickly change up some music. Give me a second here. As I pull you over to Estoria. Crossing that river, you will see on the far ridge of a hill a large group of centaurs. And here to your south, "Order! Quickly, this way, towards the wall! Don't get caught up there!" And as if to accentuate his point, a large boulder comes flying towards you, landing far behind you, but certainly close enough to perhaps incentivize the increase in speed. As you can look over, and the centaur group is joined by a giant of sorts that seems to be lifting another large chunk of earth onto their shoulders, and puts a free hand on their hip.
They're just shot putting these boulders, huh?
To the walls, quickly!
I think Leo picks up the pace.
Yeah,
He's like,
just
Just
gotta go to the wall.
Come on, ass. Go.
It's
As we try to get the
Pulling Apollo.
yeah.
Apollo, having just had a rock shot put at them, as Eliana put it so well, will certainly hurry along a bit faster. And you'll get like this, with an increased pace, all of you can begin kind of lightly jogging at the very least towards the city. Another boulder will go sailing a little short, but you sense it's getting closer, almost like these might be, if not warning shots, bracketing shots, and they're slowly getting their aim better. But you make your way down towards the walls and up this small defensive redoubt before the gates, as a group of soldiers comes to meet you. And one of them palms the spear to the ground, his shield similarly emblazoned like Eliana's. So he removes his helmet and his long hair kind of falling to his side. What the hell were you thinking going on the northern roads? You're either crazy or some kind of mythological hero.
I'll look over right to Pavlos. Just whole body turn.
And he'll kind of like, oh, sorry, I'm out of breath here. You see, I heard the southern roads were just as dangerous, if not as clogged, and I thought I would get in before the market. And the guard, seemingly captain, will hold up a hand. I don't even want to begin to. All right, look. We need to look over your things and search you and make sure you're not the agent of the enemy. If you could all please turn out your bags or such.
I think Leo just hands his bag and stuff.
Eliana, are you doing the blinking thing?
Just like right at it, like exactly in character as out of character. It's like, are you like a whole? Are you fucking serious?
I know. No. But you understand what a perfect disguise that would be for a Maenid to sneak into our settlement.
Of me. And I'll like rip the helmet off like this.
Oh. Wait, if you went out, you're all.
Yeah.
Really, this is to my gate.
Well, King Cathus, but sure.
Oh, I have a bet with my brothers. To which of the 3 gates that you will go? We are each captains of one, you see. So you come to my gate. Oh, this is good. Oh, Camille will not be happy. He's running the southern gate. Oh, you have made me a slightly richer man.
Well, as glad as we are that we've somehow helped you, can we just walk
Oh,
away
yes.
without the whole?
No, please, take your things back. You are you are welcome in this city anytime. As the raiders are welcome to the stream. Welcome everybody. And he'll wave you. If anyone gives you trouble, just tell them Publius Oratos owes you a favor. At least on this side of the city, that shit. Oh, he was so certain. And he'll kind of be giggling and like look and take a moment to kind of like stand on the redoubt and just like giggle and look out towards the centaur bands with his hands on his hips, spear kind of leaning on his shoulder. But you are free to enter the city of Estoria across the Archelon River. Across the liver, because we're clearly doing surgery now.
But which lobe?
All of them, all the loads.
Oh no, I triggered the medical people.
Sorry.
This settlement, Estoria, is nestled between the cliffs of a rocky gorge. The north wall of the town is part of a stone fortress and protects the town from any dangers that might come from the steppes. Houses, taverns, and shops of all kinds sprawl down from the fortress, filling much of the gorge. The northern wall is defended by a legion of troops, as you can see, a lot of them standing and at a firm attention. Archers behind them, constantly gauging distances. Well, while to your best knowledge, at least to some of you know that the southern gate is much more of the commercial entry for the city, and is likely to have less strong troop numbers. But Eliana, this is your city. What's your first move here? I'm wondering as you cross that bridge.
I mean, it's only been 2 weeks.
It's been a long
Just
2
kinda-
weeks, though.
Yeah. Just kind of noticing all the decorating of for the festival.
Yes, I would make note to everyone that the area you're in right now is not particularly decorated, but there are plenty of signs and people are out putting buntings on, as it seems you are arriving day 1.
I'm just kind of like looking because up towards the top here is the way to the temple.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure.
Yes, so the eastern gate there does lead to what you know is the Primo Vineyards of Estoria that are protected on either side by the heavy high mountain passes, and also offer a great entry to the Old Wood, which is why you think the Estoria, you might surmise in your medical knowledge, that Estoria is kind of sometimes the local vintage, if any, escape the king's grasp and make their way out of the land, is rumored to have a slightly magical effect. At the very least, it's magically delicious.
But
Please don't sue me.
not sponsored. So I guess it'd be more or less kind of getting the group of peeps together.
Assuming none of them are vampires.
I mean, they can be vampires. It's whatever.
I'm just
Fine.
saying it'd be difficult to cross the running water. It's a city built with multiple defenses.
Vampires are number one concern.
Maybe not here, but yeah, if you gather right about there where Eliana is, assuming you're all relying on Eliana as your guide to the city, feel free to jump in and say if that's not the case. And if you would like to head off in a different direction, I can provide you with the general idea of where you are, because I will note, as you're walking through, up the stairs here, you do hear a slightly rowdy crowd noise going on, and you'll note at the bottom of the stairs a sign that says the Dragon's Tooth Public House.
No, we gotta go there. I know Threnos needs to see Pythor. That'll be hilarious. Try to get that little meeting sorted out.
Kira will jump in here. Just don't rush for Pythor or wait for him. We have a festival to enjoy before he comes and spoils the fun for everybody. Ugh.
Right. Well,
and she says she'll point across the water feature here towards what seems to be, oddly enough, a house that if you could see any flames, you'd think it was on fire, but it seems to be producing an almost constant stream of smoke from the top, like a foundry or a blacksmithy gone haywire. And she goes, I'm going to take a quick stop in there. You all enjoy yourselves. The Agora is down by the river there. Sorry, I don't mean to take your tour guide stats, but the Agora and the the plays, quick little jump in, might have helped write 1 or 2 good lines there, are going on probably. But I have to say hi to somebody in the forge, so don't get in too much trouble.
don't get burned in the blast furnace.
Oh, please. Fire doesn't burn anybody. It's ridiculous.
Right. Enjoy yourself. I don't know what you all want to do here while we're having to wait. I have a few places I'd like to stop. Somewhat personal.
Well, if the gods know so much, let's see what they think. Destiny awaits, and he'll pull a coin out of his little pouch and flip it in the air and make no attempt to catch it at all, and just watch it kind of bounce away and be like, if it's all predetermined, none of this matters. Let's go find some singing or dancing or fighting. It's all going to win the same. And stroll off just into the city. I need to find someone to fight.
You want to find someone to fight?
Oh, do a 5.
What direction are you heading off in?
Is there anything that looks like an amphitheater or public speaking house? Any kind of large, important looking building? Maybe something like a big library or somewhere that looks very important and shouldn't be disturbed by scruffy urchins.
So there is the public house, the Dragon's Tooth. That strikes you more as an inn slash, resting place.
Much more posh than that.
You would understand that there is an amphitheater to the south on the river.
Perfect. That's where I'm heading.
Okay, we have one heading south, flipping a coin in the air. That seems to fall at random onto the ground. Where is everyone else heading, just so I can get some general groupings or non-groupings?
I think I follow him just because I'm worried that he might get into trouble.
Keep an eye on him, please.
Yeah,
He annoys the ever-loving hells out of me, but he's still important. So.
Okay, he's important to you. Got it.
No. He will definitely take that out of context if that was ever to find his ears. He would literally never shut up about it. And you will also suffer from saying such things. And not just by his own words. It was just like a slight shining off the tip of the spear.
I will say, as you are standing, if you are going to stand here for any longer, you do see a group of 7 robed figures in what looks to be a religious regalia, rather anointed with Sydon's patterns, pulling an oxen towards the square here, seemingly about where you're all standing, and you can kind of see like, oh, there's some, that's not rust on the stones. That doesn't make sense. So it seems like you might be in their spot. Quick HP to catch you up. We have Ponos and Leo heading south through the Agora towards the amphitheater to make a ruckus and a public statement. The public house, the Dragon's Tooth, is up the stairs over here, and Eliana is your local tour guide. Kira has ducked into this what looks like a blacksmithy gone haywire, saying she had to speak to somebody.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of Sydon cultists who look to be pulling an oxen, are ready to make an offering to their lord, and you're in their spot.
Yep, just gonna move on out of their spot. And I think Calliope is gonna spend some time just kind of around the Agora, just like, I don't know, saying what's what.
Okay. The Agora is right here.
All right.
DeFaro, where are you headed?
He is just kind of lazily wandering through the streets with no real destination. But knowing or having an idea of where the amphitheater and where the tavern is, she will just kind of like loop in the same areas, stopping in to various shops and things like that, but nothing necessarily specific.
Okay. So you're kind of heading down this path. Let me get a snap to center here. Click the button. Heading down this way with the intention of kind of like stopping into the Agora and kind of seeing what's around here.
Mhm.
Okay. And Eliana, what's your plan?
I'm gonna go see my parents.
Okay. That's very fair. The living quarters are down in this area here. It's typically where the actual folks are. You would know the direction Eliana is going leads either down to the Agora or up to the Palace of the King and his associated temples, and also the Dragon Shrine, though that's like way back here. But if you're both going to walk down the same way, I'd say maybe Eliana and Defer, you're walking at least kind of close to each other.
Yeah.
And Threnos, where are you going?
I will follow Calliope for now.
Okay. All right, so why don't we start with Eliana and Defera? Because Eliana, and as the two of you are making your way down this street, you see, of course, the stairway up to the king, and there's a few attendants and soldiers running up and down. Some people carrying two porters seem to be carrying what looks to be a large amphora of wine up the stairs. Not an uncommon sight to you, Eliana, but it's a large amphora to Farah, like about the size of a person. Honestly, like if this wasn't for a party, you'd be concerned, kind of thing. But Eliana, at a point around just the edge of the Agora or the market, you catch a whiff of a familiar almondy scent. Kind of, I mean, it's been 2 weeks, yes, but as I said, it's been a long 2 weeks with a lot of life-changing revelations, and maybe exactly what you need is a amygdalota right now. And you're kind of just like, it smells fresh, it smells new, it's just fills it almost gives you like a shiver and a full breath of air. And to fair, you could also definitely smell these fresh cookies, but there's also a lot of other spices and wine and wonderful juicy vintages in the air. As all of you will begin moving into the amphora and the Agora, and it is just decked out: flowers, wine barrels, casks, people partying, shouting, laughing. It's a festival.
Upon the scent hitting Eliana, she kind of stops. Because is that the actual bakery or
The bake shop, as a very convenient location just north of the living quarters.
okay? Yeah, I just kind of stop and kind of look over towards where the shop is and slowly pick my pace back up.
Jafar, you are kind of bombarded. Now, you are from Mitros, a cosmopolitan city in every notion of the word. Massive, and sculptures everywhere. And honestly, you've been raised on the idea that Astoria is a quiet provincial town full of backwater bumpkins who are good at fighting because they wrestle in the mud with their sister wives, all the, hillbilly, ruckus, downward nose looking stereotypes you can think of. This doesn't hit you. This is a vibrant people who are, as you know, basically actively under siege and are partying about it right now from the looks of it. Soldiers patrol the streets in small groups, but they are actively chatting with citizens. People stop at booths and are giving out free samples. A woman will approach you with a small vial. Perfume for your special somebody, yes? And she'll go and just begin reaching out towards touching your neck with a very, to be fair, flowery smelling potus of some kind. I mean, any immediate reaction to someone getting up in your space, or you just kind of like, it'll be over?
I mean, she definitely would like cringe a bit at it, but she's not going to do anything outwardly in an intentionally rude is how I should say it, probably.
So
and if her hand wanders too much, the snakes will probably start hissing.
As well, she'll like quickly like streak kind of like on your neck and kind of get a hiss, and she'll kind of, oh, sorry. I'll just be over there. If you want them more free, please sample anytime you like. You it's so beautiful. I just, but that at that point, as Eliana starts to kind of break away from you, you're gonna feel a little tug at the back of your robe, just kind of like a little tiny tug, about like thigh height.
I will turn to acknowledge the thigh height tug on my robe.
You see what looks to be a not particularly dirty, but like he's somehow acquired dirt in a very interesting splotch of places. Like, just seems kind of overly sticky. Like maybe someone's given him candy and he's found a way to make that a topical ointment kind of thing of a child. He's gonna kind of look up at you and, hey, what is the biggest, scariest monster you've killed?
She's going to stare at this child. And is there anything within like arm's reach that would be considered candy and or a sweet?
I will say there is definitely some hardened honey stick vendors in the area.
She will hand whatever money is necessary to purchase one of those.
2 copper pieces. These things are, bees are plentiful in Thylea. Truly mythology.
And just kind of hand it to the kid and go, I do not think that is a story that I should be telling. And then as quickly as possible,
No. And he'll just kind of start licking it, and
there you go. Yep. And then just like a pat on the sticky forehead.
Yeah, his head is super. He kind of like,
there you go.
It's not consistent either. There's some spots that are not sticky, and that almost concerns you more than the sticky spots.
You should get a bath, kid. Okay, I'm gonna go now. And then just walk away.
Just, do you turn around at any point? No? Okay. I will leave that for later. We'll jump to Eliana. Following the smell of that rich almondy spiced scent, you will reach a small stand where a somewhat familiarly robed figure has their back turned to the crowd. A small group, to be fair. It's a little early for cookies, despite what some urchins might insist. But certainly the stand seems to be doing well. The sign, of course, amigdota, 2 copper pieces, special wine festival, special wine festival savor, which you know as a local is a lie. It's always 2 copper pieces, but if you put special on there.
Sick. Eliana hesitantly walks up to it. Her heart's just beating, just feels like it's gonna like burst from just anxiety. And she takes her helmet off and knowing but hoping, just excuse me.
And the men will turn, and it's a younger face than you would have expected. Sorry, hi. Welcome to the Vicarian cookies.
Yes, I was looking to and she'll just kind of like stammer at first and kind of look this.
Sorry, yes, sorry. It's my first season. Hi, I'm Thane.
Thane.
Yeah, old name, but
can I get a few of these?
Just a few. I could.
A gold piece is worth.
Oh, sorry. I do a special for guards. Look by your shield. I would.
No, just no special, no nothing. Just regular pay.
Oh, okay. let me get a good basket for you to carry those in. That's quite an order. You're from around here though, right?
Yeah. The temple.
I knew it. Yes. Oh, gosh. My grandfather used to talk about you a lot. Those folks a lot. Helped us have a tricky spot. Told us to buy a lot one season. Because it was going to be a plague on it the next, or at least a blight or something. I can never tell the story straight. He claimed there are no almonds left in Thylea, if you believe it. But that temple really saved his. Well, gosh, I'm becoming more like him every day. Saved his cookie. But yeah. So here, how about I throw another dozen on for the house?
So at the mention of his grandfather, she will just tune out and then just kind of like staring off. It's like some things come up, I gotta go, and she'll just kind of rush to the living quarters. Not taking the money, just it's there, paid for, goodbye.
Oh wait, what are you? Oh, all right. Okay. Why don't we jump over to Ponos and Leo? What you enter the oh gosh, words, the Agora. I want to say amphitheater, but you're not there just yet. But I will say that Estoria's well-trodden streets converge in a bustling central Agora. A motley assortment of stalls litter the area, from canopies of fine silk to stacks of rotted wooden crates. Merchants the stalls eagerly vie for your attention, and all claiming of the highest quality of wares, all of which seem fairly reasonably priced. Fairly.
I mean, as Ponos is going through His little hooves are clip-clopping chirpily, and he's like, as he's kind of, passing by and dismissing a lot of the traders, just enjoying the very forced attention that they're all kind of giving to everyone, but he's making very much about himself. He's getting his he's got these big foot-tall horns coming out of his forehead that are getting snagged on the tops of stools, and the sort of canopies and coverings that are going over things. If anyone tries to, go up and put things, in the way that pushy sellers do, they try and put things around your shoulders or over you.
You have a wonderful bear coat. Why don't you try this necklace on?
It's all just getting caught, and he's just like,
wait a second, I can't quite.
Just continues to walk on. It's like, oh, people just can't leave me alone. Of course they can't. Why would you?
There's even a horse in your way. Yeah, there's a horse kind of in your way that seems to be pulling some kind of cart. It's kind of like you probably have to part that, right?
I'm 100% horse. That's one animal.
And you're gonna hear a voice. So what you just say to me? As a
horse is one animal.
You just called me a horse? It's a centaur man. In what appears to be a kind of oddly enough, a sleeveless shirt,
vest,
like a vest kind of thing, but buttoned. Will kind of you thought it was a horse. You better apologize, man. You gotta respect.
Is he bigger than me?
Well, he's a centaur, so that is biologically a truth. However, he also appears fairly strong. He might work out. I mean, he's got a weird kind of crew cut thing going, and his livery is a green and white thing going on, and he's just kind of come on. Come on.
I assumed you were.
What, you can't see me? What's up? You can't see me?
I assume your mother's side, since technically is on all fours.
Oh, you want to disrespect? You want to call people and disrespect my mother?
I think at this point, Leo.
And there's going to be a small parting of the crowd. It's just there's going to be a fight, and people seem kind of interested in that.
Yeah, no, Leo hurries up and it's no, it's okay. He was a son.
No, you get your little boy out of here. This is the place for champs to fight.
Champions of the stable yards. I believe that's what they used to call it. I imagine how this happened. There's got to be an explanation for it somewhere.
What's just offhand? What is your AC, by the way?
My AC is 12.
Ooh, you're catching a hoof right to the chest.
Boom.
That's gonna be half that, since he's not trying to seriously harm you, for 6 damage.
Wow, that's half my health.
He's like, come on, you and me wrestle right now.
Yeah, I think I go for a quick jab.
All right.
Hey, that was my friend, and I sock him.
Roll to hit.
Okay.
Oh wait, I had music for this. Wait, I was prepared for these shenanigans.
You were prepared for us to cause problems on purpose?
No.
Yes.
I don't know what you mean.
22 aren't
22 will hit. And I'll tell you what, we'll not go take this into full combat, but the incentive of wrestling is I'll take you both on, man, and I'll give you both a +2 on your first grapple check on against this guy.
Well, I guess we're technically now 1.5 men and half a goat versus what, 1/2 of a man and two thirds of a horse. So I
100% power of will, though.
100% power of the dildo. This guy, am I right?
Are you gonna wrestle or what?
Yeah, I'm gonna wrestle.
Well, he's still just on the ground. Like I'm just sitting on the ground, just like
antagonizing him.
this guy.
And as I am dealing with this, just grapple would be strength, right?
Athletics or acrobatics.
Oh, yep. I'll do athletics.
No, wait. I want to give this a little bit more gravitas. 10. You get a plus
Yep.
2.
12.
So
Ponos, while he's on the ground, is going to grab a handful of dirt from the street and be like, and he rinse himself up while these two are like wrestling at it, and just go, okay, help action, advantage, go, and throw the sand in the centaur's eyes.
you guys are beginning to grapple. As you guys are clinching up, you throw some dirt in his eyes. Leo, roll with advantage.
Okay. Oh, you get sand in my face as I roll a 7.
I will say at this moment, the centaur does like manage to kind of like heft you up and has you over his shoulders for a moment. And at this height,
So you're
it's going to be
riding him now?
it's going to be a hell of an attitude adjustment. One more round of athletics checks to see if you can worm your way out of this one. And I will say he hasn't taken a move to wipe the dirt and stuff out of his eyes and is infuriated at Ponos. So advantage, please.
Okay, yeah. 22.
Okay. That is 2 more than he rolled. And so how do you work your way out of being held on a centaur's shoulders? Are you like transitioning it, or you just want to get out of there? Or
I think, I try to find a way to transition it. And
grab him, grab his head for a DDT.
Yeah.
Okay. One more grapple check as you now are in a dominating position, held up in the air. You're beginning to get his weight down and can potentially throw his whole weight forward, colliding his head with the stones.
Cool. 23.
Oh, he rolls a natural 1. You plant a spike him right into the cobblestone, and you hear a as the entire horse half of the body kicks up and threatens to crumple on top of you, but its butt hits the ground before it's there's that perfect space between a centaur's head and his ass that allows you to exit as he's kind of just planted there.
I think he like I crawl out and then just raise my hands like, who's the champ now?
Okay.
Vanessa's going to grab like an apple off one of the stalls, like take a bite and then throw it onto the centaur and be like, there you go. There's something for the lesson.
So are Calliope and Thronos also kind of just around here? Like, did we hear this happening?
You can definitely hear this happening because the crowd spaced out. There's a lot of commotion. Immediately, money was changing hands.
Okay, so if I don't know if this counts because this is pseudo combat, but part of my verses, I could technically write a verse of comedy because someone, that's all it says, is someone rolls a natural 1 on an attacker saving throw. Does this count?
Yes.
All right, I will get to writing that when I have the chance. Yes, my first verse.
Your first verse is a centaur getting DDT'd or I don't know, honestly, at the height differential. It's a whole thing. Ask Mysterio, but getting his head planted in John Centaur. You do notice, both of you, that he does have a particularly nice belt on. It's kind of around his waist, which seems kind of like extraneous for a centaur.
I guess it answers the age-old question of if a centaur were to wear a belt, would it wear it sort of here, or would it wear it like here?
We don't answer those kind of questions here, but he does wear the belt around his waist.
His human waist, as opposed to his equestrian waist.
Yes. For
That's
the moment,
two-thirds of another.
Any areas that might be deeper down this hole of questioning, shall remain blurred. We'll think about them later after serious philosophical and spiritual debate.
I'm here to learn.
Okay,
I'm a
but he
man
does
of
have a
great
particularly
learning.
nice belt on.
Sure. And while we've got this crowd's attention, Pontus is going to just turn on the charm. Out comes the violin, screeches, and he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, don't worry. Your heroes have arrived, and yes, place your safe bets here, for we do not lose."
And you're gonna begin, honestly, before you even hit a string, you hear some murmurs like, Oracle's chosen, Oracle's chosen. Oh my god, it's them. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I thought it'd be taller. I thought it'd be shorter. My gosh. DCP's really not wearing pants. Good for him. No, gross. Ew. You just
5'8" is a perfectly legitimate height for a male of my stature when your knees are inverted.
Still, I need to know two things. One, who is taking the belt?
It's my belt.
Yeah, he won.
I won the fight.
Okay. You know what? This feels very appropriate. You throw it on and you suddenly feel like there's a kind of like limberness to your arms. Like you got a little bit better at grappling as long as you wear this belt. It's a little bit like just a touch too large to be like a standard belt. So like bending over to pick things up is going to be just a tad inconvenient, but nothing like debilitating yet.
Calliope, did we just watch those two pick a fight and then rob that man?
That we did. That is something that happened. I don't quite know what to think about it, and as she kind of like looks over, you can see. I'll get to writing this verse when I have time, but insert the words of this verse here are now like almost inscribed on one of the feathers on the inside of her wing, as if now as they're thought up and as events happen, they're going to be actually physically portrayed on her wings.
That's a lovely addition.
Sorry, what was that?
So that's a lovely addition.
Yeah, that's new. I don't know what to think about that one. Maybe the rumors are becoming true.
What rumors are those?
About the whole hero thing, I guess. Maybe.
We'll definitely see where it leads, that's for sure.
You will notice a few eyes heading your way as well. Speaking of things heading your way, though, all four of you will notice that in the ruckus of this fight, there's been a lot of diverted attention, shall we say. And you'll hear a sudden as two carts collide with each other, and the wheel from one cart spitters off, kind of off to the side. But you will notice several heavy carts of wine barrels coming down your way.
Check spell.
Ponos and Leo, you're the first to have these come in your direction.
I think I try to stop him or
make me a strength or athletics check in this case.
All right, do athletics. 18.
Okay. So the barrel's immediately coming towards you. You can kind of clasp onto, catch that first one with your inertia, move back slightly, but you kind of catch the initial thing and the shock of the other two. You're able to stand a firm enough ground, shield arm, basically constantly trained for this kind of thing. And you can kind of hold the resistance of the other two. The question is what the other three of you doing? There's plenty more barrels.
Pontus is going to hop onto one of the barrels while it's moving and start walking backwards on it, like a circus performer.
Acrobatics or performance?
Oh, let's give a performance. That's a 9.
You have any +2s or?
Nope.
It's a little. You start to go and you almost have the hang of it, but I will say you will fall off, but forward.
Forward roll to save it.
Make me a dex save in that case.
Ooh. 3.
Yeah. You are going to get a little run over. Rolled low. Take 1 damage of bludgeoning as this barrel, as you hit the pavement and a barrel of wine collides with your chest and bounces over, missing your head by mere inches. It seems, yeah, like luck really wasn't with you there. But hey, siren buddies, what's up?
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to like dodge and then like I don't know, like shove or like kick one kind of like out of the way so like people like aren't getting run over or something, or if like no one else is in danger, she's just kind of like bob and weave, I guess.
Okay. Athletics or dex save.
Like,
Either of those
can
work.
I acrobatics my way down?
Sorry, yes, acrobatics.
All
of
right,
course.
let's do that. Oh my god, why are we all rolling so fast?
10 was the DC, which makes pharmacist roll extra cursed. You are able to kind of like sidestep, can't do anything like extra for the barrels. They'll roll on a little bit past you, hit the stairs, and begin kind of colliding with each other. Threnos, though.
If I cast a magic missile and send 1 at each barrel, could I keep 3 barrels from hitting me and not have to worry about trying to dodge it?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. Then I will cast magic missile and 3 bolts of energy to shoot out of the tips of my wings, looking like feathers flying, and blast 3 of the barrels to knock them out of the way.
And you'll create a safe space around you that a few people will kind of huddle in, and yeah, they'll just collide. And it seems like there's a moment of like, oh gosh, like is that satyr okay? And a few people will come over and like, he's hero of Thylea. I mean, he's Oracle's choice. Is he okay? And like people will come over and check on you, Threnos. Like one man will kneel, you okay there, son?
Oh, me, I'm fine. He's
No,
hurting me.
not you, Ponus.
What? Yeah, fine. Don't worry about me. Champion, hero, whatever you want to call it.
You took a champion's barrel to the stomach there, though. You see the man
Well,
is seemingly a lot more dwarven than you might have initially guessed.
it goes to show, as a hero, as a champion, as one of the people, I know what it's like to take my lumps in life, just like you commoners.
All right, well, maybe hit him in the head with another barrel. He might have a better attitude. But the group will kind of like back off, and someone will, of course, they'll leave you to your business with your nice new belt. But yeah, you're free to move on to the amphitheater if you feel like you've not made enough of a scene.
Perfect. Heft myself up, buff my new belt with my bear pelt. Hoik it up. Off we go.
That belt looks really nice on you, Vanos. As I
It's
follow
almost
along.
like it was made for me. If I was bigger and it fitted and was made of bear, but it's fine. I like it.
So we'll take a moment from you guys and jump over to Sirens, because you are, after this, entering the amphitheater. You have a moment to yourselves. They seem to accept the chaos just as much as anything else. But I will say one thing of note is briefly, there seems to be a very popular spot in the sky as a single lone cloud will float overhead. And everyone kind of like, some people will like get into the shade and just like, and you'll like hover directly over you, Thranos, for a moment, and then just like clear on. You're very popular for a moment. And it sails off.
I have a task while we're here, Calliope. I need
Right. I'm not really sure where to look or what to do for that. I think Kira had more information on that. I don't know. She's always like, just enjoy the journey, not the destination. And, we have all of this festival to do and everything. I don't know. You could heed her advice or not.
my hesitation isn't not knowing the destination, it's not knowing what I'll find when I get there.
Mm.
I need to see if Pithor will speak with me. But I don't want to do that alone.
Well, is this something you want to see with the rest of the group, or do you know this is something you have to do on your own?
Part of me wants everyone there. Part of me wants to be by myself.
Mm.
I think for the good of our oath, it should be all of us. We're in this together now.
Mm-hmm.
So when we catch up with the others, if you wouldn't mind helping me
Yeah,
point them along the way.
let's see what they think. For the meantime, do you want to see what else is happening here other than two of our friends getting into all sorts of trouble?
I plan on following them and making sure they neither kill anyone nor get killed.
Fair enough.
You both seem like socially conscious people, aware of your general surroundings in a crowd.
Sure.
That's the right answer. As you move more properly into the court, you're going to see a starved looking man hunched over. He seems to be holding his head bowed, holding over his head a necklace of sorts. Each bead of it darkened except for one, which shines with a fiery red brilliance. And he holds it up and he says, and you can kind of hear under his breath, one gold piece, 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 please. So he said for one gold piece, one gold piece.
What are you selling, merchant?
He kind of turns this up at you, and like his face is gaunt. And I mean, he looks like he hasn't eaten in days. And he goes, one gold piece, necklace for fire, cast power. Yes, one gold piece, good price.
One gold piece is a good price.
Yes, yeah, you'll buy it then. Yeah, yes. And he'll offer the necklace up to you. Yes. And before you can answer, you'll hit, don't buy it from him. Go. Damn it, Klaus. And the merchant at the stall next door will shout over, Don't buy that. We're under a curse. Klaus here thinks he's very clever for a grave robber.
And what curse is that, Klaus?
Not cursed. Not cursed at all. Just found so hungry. God, one gold piece. All I ask, one gold piece.
Why
Well-
don't you tell me the nature of the finding, and we'll discuss what comes from that. Persuade or anything like that?
The merchant will cut in, even if Klaus is not forthcoming. If you're okay with hearing it from him.
That's fine.
Klaus is a grave robber. He can't eat. We've tried to give him food, but it turns to ash in his mouth because of the curse the gods place on any who break their vows. Can you be familiar with grave rob? The curse of the grave robber does not allow someone to consume food if they've stolen from a holy site. And the item has to be sold with full understanding of the curse. Otherwise, it will appear back in their possession and the curse will persist. It is a common thing through Thylea. This is a law of the land in a lot of ways.
So when you buy it, you buy the curse, basically.
Yes, you'll be unable to consume food, and it will become worse as time goes on. You will need a remove curse for 7 days, I believe.
Well, Klaus, my sympathies for your situation.
I just wanted a bit more gold, but I went to the necropolis. Dead. They don't need it. Turned their backs on us. The Dragonlords. Could have they?
The necropolis. What necropolis are you talking about?
Lukalock, the Dragonlord necropolis. Went there. I had to grabbed one thing, small thing, thought I would sit. Can't lie, or else it comes back. Stole from a Dragonlord's tomb, protected by the gods. Can't eat, haven't eaten in a few days. 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 days.
I'm
Gods can
very
be cruel.
sorry about that. Is there anything else you know about this place?
I know some. Yes. Oh. One gold piece. Offers the necklace towards you.
I can't buy the item off of you, friend. We all have our weight to carry, but I will buy the story off of you.
One gold piece. Eat.
You're on your own. I'll turn and walk toward Ponos.
Okay. Calliope.
I mean, she'll linger, I think, a little bit more. Then I don't know. I guess look to the other merchant, not him, but the other merchant, just to say, what kind of healing for something like this would be around, if anything?
Gosh, you could try the Dragon Shrine. No one talks to Aesop, but old elf like that is bound to know a few things. But you'd need some very serious priest work, and I don't know if even Pythor himself has that on hand.
Good to know. Good to have in mind. Thank you. And I guess she'll walk off.
You'll hear a few muted repeats of 1 gold piece. One gold piece. And we will jump over. Why don't we check on Tefera first? Just to get a general sense of where you're heading, because you have an urchin following you.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if that kid was still following me.
What's the scariest monster you've seen though? Like with your eyes. You have pretty eyes.
Yeah, I'm not answering these questions, kid. And she will continue to walk through the agora. I'm assuming. I would like to think that she told the kid, actually, the small child that's been following her, would point at Leo and Ponos across the agora and go, look, watch. Those 2 men, they're going to save the world. Watch it happen. And try to distract the kid.
Make me a
with the
persuasion check.
scene.
But you're gonna save the world first, right?
No.
Because you're very pretty.
She's just muttering under her breath. So she's going to watch the entire thing with Ponos and Leo transpire, as well as the wine barrel, the wine casks kind of just like barreling forward, and look around, kind of looking for Eliana, hoping that she also witnessed some of it, but when she sees that they're not there, being very sad that there was no way to capture that moment on any sort of tape. And then knowing that the child is still not leaving,
What's the prettiest monster you've fought?
yeah, kid, listen, I'm not answering these questions. And she will just continue to walk.
Which direction are you walking, can I ask?
Well, she's currently here. So she came from like over here. So she would probably, I would say, continue to walk this direction, like towards Ponos and Leo.
Okay.
But not necessarily like intentionally going to like watch them. But if it will get this kid away from her, then she might.
Before we head to them, I want to check on Eliana.
Yeah, she walked very briskly from the city center here, or not city center, but the agora, and just kind of like taking some deep breaths, just trying to calm herself as she looks around for her parents' house.
Okay,
finding it eventually.
Of course, yeah. It's the
I
same
hope they
place.
haven't moved in the 2 weeks I've been gone.
Nope. The same entryway greets you. That light brown wooden door. And you know this to be the home of your parents. And you also know they don't particularly like working festivals, especially with your mother's work. It's just far too rampant for thieves. And they work much more regularly with the guard and any passerby adventurers. So, you know, and of course, any higher ranking peoples. So they would probably be home.
quick knock knock.
You hear a slight stir and then open and oh my god. The door will open fully and you will see your parents, Lekos and Evie, and they'll both rush and take you into a big hug. Oh, Eleona, it's been far too long. Ha!
It's been 2 weeks.
2 weeks is an eternity to me, you know this.
Then I fear what 800 years is going to do to you.
Oh, it will make me senile and infirm. You'll have to put me in a home.
Well, hopefully we don't have to get to that. It's been a while. It's been a long 2 weeks.
It does. Please, come. Tell us of your adventure. There'll be more of you.
They're enjoying the beginnings of the festival.
Your mother, would they like, do they need somewhere to stay? You could welcome them in. We have room.
Perhaps, but I'm sure the inn might offer them rooms for once Kyra gets going, I'm sure.
You met another
Kira.
girl?
Hmm?
You met Kira? The goddess Kira?
No. Although, weirdly enough, she does look an awful lot like the depictions of the goddess. I don't know if it was intentional. Perhaps she is. Come to think of it, honestly, she's too much like her.
Oh, don't get too metaphysical now. You're the ruin you get the lines on your eyes. Please come inside. Please, come in. It's so good to have you. Come on, please. And they'll bring you inside, and it's exactly as you remember. Large open communal space, private rooms, and a small shrine to your household deity, whichever you would prefer to pray to. Pythor, of course, has a place in the Estorian household, really, no matter what. It's kind of hard to ignore a god when he's also your king. But I have a question. Who is your household deity?
You bastard. I'm probably just
You only got
Pythor.
5.
Probably easier.
Okay. Yeah, no, you got 5 choices. I just figured I'd ask. But yeah, Pythor being the household deity is perfectly acceptable. You have a small shrine, a young, clean-shaven, and Herculean sculpted Pythor stands at attention with a shield and spear, as you would understand, very similar to the sculpt used by the colossi of Pythor, though of course one of those was taken into the sea by a kraken, but we don't really talk about it a whole bunch. But the remaining colossus of Pythor, it appears, is a very similar design to the one you have in your home, with a small personal shrine. But this is a welcome and open environment and familiar environment to you. So I guess the question is, what is your immediate move here before we jump back to the
I just kind of,
chaos?
take off the helmet, and just kind of go over everything that's happened thus far and what the next move is probably going to be. So I'm sure that's going to go over super well.
Your mother will pause, and so there's a lot of men in your life.
Don't.
I'm simply being a mother.
Mm-hmm.
I only want the best for you. I'm Just observing some facts you brought up. You've talked about this Ponos fellow a lot.
He's incredibly annoying and I can't stand him.
Yes, that's usually how it starts.
No.
All right, well, they all sound lovely. And if they want to stay here, we have rooms. Especially if they're not elven. Well, God knows they need the rest more than we do. Unless they're getting whisked away by some goddess or the other. And they have a place here just as much as you do. We kept your room just as you liked it. You really should decorate a bit more, though.
Well, I'm not always home and we're going to be on the road a lot. Maybe once everything's over. There was something I wanted to ask.
Of course.
And it's going to be quite a lot because Vessi has told me something that apparently you two didn't.
They both look at each other a bit confused. Yes, what?
That grandma was struck down by the Titans.
They both look at each other, and your father, Alekos, will. Not my mother, but Devi, I never met your mother. She was distant at the best of times. She was flighty. She would go on trips. I thought she was a trader, but one day she didn't come home, and I just accepted it as a part of my life. I didn't think much of it, honestly. Father praised me just fine, got me into the trade, and I moved on. But your grandmother was killed by, my mother was killed by the Titans. That, I suppose that makes sense. She was one of the settlers. I don't see why she wouldn't have been, but. And you'll see her gaze kind of fall from your eyes down to, are you wearing the necklace that Versi gave you?
Yep.
She'll look down. What is that you're wearing?
So clasp it and hold it, hand it over to her.
And she'll take it eagerly, and she'll bring out her own jeweler's. Oh gosh, I forgot what they're called. But you know, the little magnifier
Yeah.
that jewelers have. So look at it. It's beautiful. Its cut is incredible. This looks like there's something moving within it. Where did you get this?
Mercy gave it to me.
It's so familiar, and yet I can't quite place it.
Was it hers?
Maybe. I don't remember much of her. I don't know what to tell you much about my mother. She was a free spirit. I don't know. It was difficult growing up without her, but I survived. I found a good man and had you. I don't know. Eliana, this is I don't know. Your life's going down a strange road, but we know we're here for you. They're sitting that silence for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll say before we move on from there, let's take another really quick 5-minute break. So we'll be right back, folks. Thank you for those of us who are hanging on from that raid. We'll be right back with the events in the amphitheater and perhaps a little bit more in a few short moments. But please get up, stretch your legs, refill your drinking receptacles, and apply any charge perfumes or guises that you need to reapply. We'll be back very shortly. HP, please take us out to intermission. Welcome back, everybody, to Oathsworn, our Odyssey of the Dragonlords campaign here on TPK. Tried to do a YMCA thing here, didn't work. Anyway, we're going to join Ponos and Leo as they, HP is so much better, as they enter the public amphitheater. A circular stage of the open air theater has been built into the bottom of a hill away from the center of town. Rows of seats taking the form of inlaid stone blocks spread up the slope of the hill, giving onlookers a clear view of the performers below. You enter at the top of this set of stairs. Looking down, you can see a iteration of a play has begun. Women, men, some satyrs are moving about, creating scenes from what appears to be a lone man helming the rudder of a ship. That water is being splashed about and thrown into the audience. Lightning is being created with thin sheets of metal. It appears a storm, and you can hear even from the back this long, deep monologue about sacrificing oneself for their crew, and that the Ultros may be my grave, but what a fine grave it is for a great man such as myself. Vestor, Archelander, may my name forever be caught in history's great sail. And just as the hand raises, a large magical darkness appears over the stage, over the open area, and everyone begins clapping as you remember early mentioning that one of the plays is The Fall of Esther. So that appears to be the end of the first play, and you've caught it exactly at the end, and the magic recedes, and a number of people begin bowing. Notable among them, an older looking man appears off the side, motioning to the rest of the group as he takes half bows. A late 30s, beautiful woman with dark curling hair, allowed that she kind of winds in front of her body, is taking curtsies. To her left is another woman appearing to be in her early 20s, with beautiful dark golden skin. That the two of them seem to be curtsying in opposite directions, and you can almost lightly catch them trying to nudge the other or step in front of the other as the stars are called forth. And a number of satyrs as well in the chorus. Or at least you assume it's the chorus because they're pushed off to the sides. But the crowd pauses for a moment as there seems to be a temporary lull in the excitement.
Well, it looks like we missed the first act.
Anyone know how this goes? I don't.
I somehow doubt they'll show an ending we're more familiar with.
The
That's
best
fair.
bit, if you don't know how it goes, you get to make up your own ending, and it's never going to be wrong.
I'm not as worried about the ending as I am at the beginning because I have no idea how this started, but we'll probably pick it up. It'll be fine.
There's a wet lad. Like, what more do you need to know? You got Soggy Johnson down there in his little dinghy, little soggy dinghy Johnson. He's sailing around, and then maybe someone will show up. Who knows? We'll find out in Act 2. I'm sure nothing untoward will happen.
You're going to hear clear that you don't understand the subtext of the deeper plot, right? And you'll see a group of 5 teenagers. There's their hair hanging low over just a little bit over their eyes. The beards just barely beginning to spike over their faces. Like, clearly, the deeper meaning is that the ship is a symbolism of his male womanhood that he is finally embracing at the end, Like the playwright's trying to show that Esther was always trying to prove himself an ideal male. And he had to embrace the supportive role of the ship at the end. It's like you haven't even read any of the plays.
No, I haven't.
Tasso is a genius, okay? If you don't understand, you shouldn't be watching.
Well, how do you continue showing the plays if you're telling people to not watch?
Because artists always come to appreciate other people's art.
I guess so, but I wasn't aware that there were another set of gates with inside the city.
His teenage mind can't quite handle that metaphor just yet. So he's just gonna, whatever.
Listen, I am certain that they have created some wonderful art of their own that their mother greatly appreciated.
Yeah, well, like, whatever, you're old.
Okay.
How old is Threnos? I actually don't know.
Not particularly old.
Yeah, like, wait.
May-
Okay, it's fine.
Might be 20, I don't really know.
Old.
No.
You're like ancient. I can see your bones.
There's some seats down there. Why don't we go have a seat and see what the second act brings?
How does he know that I'm 500 years old? Must be a psychic.
Don't you know,
It's the
Leo?
subtext, didn't you hear?
They know everything. They can see it in your
Yeah.
subtexts.
Is it showing?
Shh, it's okay.
Maybe just be careful when you're sitting down.
Tug the hem just a little lower.
Okay.
Adjusting your cloak, you are able to get pretty upfront seats. It seems the last waterworks of the play have encouraged a few people to move back. And as it's been mentioned, you don't believe at least any of the other plays should feature sea water in their repertoire. But honestly, who knows with theater majors?
I'm just going to stay at the back, stood right at the top behind the teenagers, and periodically going to cast minor illusion to just put a door like across where they're sitting so they can't see anything. And whenever they try and pick it up, it's an illusion, so their hand goes through it, but they can't see through it.
What the heck? Just as the next play is beginning, this one is maybe a little too close to home for some of you, as a smooth, luxurious voice kind of fills the amphitheater. Nothing entirely too familiar, but it does spark to mind that this festival does surround a initial worship of Lutheria. As the woman with dark golden skin, almost honestly nymph-like, except for a few marks that seem to have her just as a very pretty human, walks on stage with very clearly fake antlers and headdress. And she'll come on stage, and there's the older woman now is seems to be strapped to some kind of stretcher, and it's dark comedy in 2 acts, not entirely long, but it's clear this is the plight of Polenia being a bard who has no sense of humor, who is tortured by Lutheria in various what should be humorous ways, but clearly, I mean, there's an occasional satyr who runs on stage. Like, the satyrs create special effects, and they'll do some illusions to simulate physical pain. It's clear, though, to you that the actresses are in no actual harm, but like, a lot of the jokes might hit a little too close to home for some people so recently exposed to the madness and cruelty of the goddess of dreams and death. But yeah, she's exposed to a lot of cruel and terrible deaths, spun perpetually in and on herself. Her body begins burning in a last-ditch effort. She has her head cut off to save her, but then she has to exist as only a head for a little bit. Escapes only to be killed and brought back to Lutheria's domain. Thrown off of cliffs and all that sort of thing. Just a whole bevy of things that should hit humorously, but don't really. And it ends with another polite applause. People are laughing at some of the jokes because it's distant to them. I don't know what's everyone's immediate reaction. Obviously, the teenagers are very frustrated when they can't see the good parts and are like looking around themselves, like trying to understand what's going on, like poking. But some of them eventually will like lean their heads through. Like, this art, no, I can't miss this. They look ridiculous. The people in the next row in front of them are looking up at these teenagers with their head sticking through a illusionary thing, and it's just. But what's everyone else's immediate reaction to that? Except Reliana, who's home safe, unless you choose to not be.
I was expecting more, I guess. Seemed rather one note.
It's one thing to have one scene, but it just seemed to drag,
That wasn't a torture rack pun, was it?
Who's to say?
They did stretch it out a bit far, didn't they?
Dufera, Leo, and Phonos.
Farrah's distracted by a sticky child who won't leave her alone.
He's sitting, he's like shockingly sitting in the row behind you. You just hear occasionally just a, hey, pretty lady. What's the smallest monster you've killed?
At that one, she will turn around and say you and pop her hood off and allow all of the snakes to hiss at him.
Intimidation really quick. Please roll low. Oh, natural 20. His eyes will light up and he will bolt immediately from his seat, no questions asked. And I will say for the
not
natural,
expecting that to happen, so I was gonna try to find him like a home, but that just ended up working out well. So,
and
Fira, why did you terrify that child?
everyone else, you only see Dufera putting her hood back on with that natural 20.
why?
That kid just ran away from you screaming.
He should stay out of my business then. And he was extremely sticky.
Oh, I understand. I don't understand.
What are we watching again? I didn't catch any of that.
The two actresses who are the main characters again are curtsying and bowing and trying to go in front of your and in front of one another. And you can, from this point of perspective, definitely catch the aggression between the two of them. But they begin setting up for the third play, and you will see the priest who, Ponos, you will see the all the students as soon as he comes on stage will begin like standing up fully to clap at him. He's wearing what looks to be almost like an inflated or like a padded suit of armor, as he appears to be kind of in the guise of Pythor, like
Oi,
coming
nerdy
on
lads,
stage.
you seem to know stuff. Is that Pythor down there?
Of course it's Pythor. Like, what other god is he supposed to be? He perfectly encapsulates the conflicted character of the god of strength and battle, forced to endure an eternity of peace.
Yeah, watch this. And Ponos is going to ride his shield down the steps like a sled towards the stage with his violin out, screeching horrible chords, shouting, "These plays are shit!" as he goes down the steps like bam, 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 the shield.
Okay, I want you to make me 2 checks here.
Whoa.
One is performance, and one is either a dex save or acrobatics.
Okay.
Okay. You are staying stable enough down the stairs in this moment unopposed to play your song. It is not good though. You end up unhooking your own strings as you take that initial strike and are bouncing down. And as you hit that final thing and land, but the strings are busted on your violin there. As you kind of land in the dust, in the sand of the amphitheater. And what you can now see from down here, the perspective is a little different from the crowd, especially in the nosebleeds there, so to speak. The guy playing Pythor seems a bit extra silly, like he's wearing a lot of like prosthetic chin and neck piece, and even like he seems just a bit too comically large, like a Roblox character. And so, what are you doing down here? do you mean to criticize my work in such a public way?
Sometimes the critics speak for themselves, and like will spin over my spear and try and pop his inflatable armor suit.
Make me an attack to hit. Is anyone else doing anything in this moment? I just want to check on everyone else.
Is that Ponos?
Roll with
Yeah.
advantage. He is not expecting this at all.
Yeah, sure. I can roll lower. It's fine. Ooh, 14.
Is him? Was
That
there
might be the
anything we can
highest
do to
I've
stop
ever
him?
rolled.
No, you just have to watch it happen.
Yeah.
You flip that spear and as you watch, just like he goes, "What? That was incredibly rude. Trying to put on a performance here," and he's patting his hand onto it, and it's not working. As the armor kind of flakes. Come on! I'm trying to embody the god of battle, the king of the city. We got a torrid love affair with his wife Hexia.
And Ponus is just openly laughing and like gesturing to the audience.
And at that, you will hear the heavy clink of footsteps. As we will flash over briefly to Eliana. You were speaking with your parents. Or
Yeah,
rather,
I
you
was.
You hear a on the front of your door.
Were you two expecting someone?
No, we are very quiet in our business during the festival. We don't like to engage in anything like that, you know.
I swear. And she's gonna just kind of close her eyes as she stands up and goes to answer the door.
You open it, and there are men there, not in the simple guard armor of the city or the army of Estoria, but the royal guard, golden and emblazoned on from their shins to their helmets, everything bearing the symbol of Pythor and his hammer.
Oh,
Eliana Logid,
yeah.
and we are going to flash back to the group as a contingent of these similar golden armored guards will make their way down the two sets of stairs close on either side of where you all are sitting to the base and turn. And again, a somewhat captain of sorts is not a single row of feathers, but rather a double to indicate his veteran rank. Step forward.
All of us.
1 second. The king requests your presence immediately. As we are to understand, you wish to see him as well.
As a matter of fact, I do have a few questions. And Thrynos will stand up right away and start walking.
You can't leave. I haven't got to my scene yet.
Your performance can wait to the third day, Ponos. Please. A god asks for your audience.
Take a seat.
He asks for a private performance then. It's a high honor.
Some people have said that.
Will you come with us willingly? We'll make it worth your while.
Bah, go on then. You had me at will you come with us willingly? We'll make it worth your while.
And flashing back to Eliana, the God King requests your presence. not only as a seer, but as a chosen of the Oracle.
Woods traveled so far already. I thought I'd have a few minutes, but clearly not.
Sorry for interrupting, but it's urgent.
I'm sure. And sure. Just give me a moment.
I'm afraid it can't wait.
I
We
just
must go now. It was
Okay.
his most coherent request we've had.
Fine. I'll be back later. Kind of yell out to her parents as she leaves without being able to actually give a proper goodbye.
They were there at the. I would say they're nearby the
okay,
door,
shit.
so they'll be safe. If you see, recommend our west. But
Right.
both contingents of the group find yourselves being escorted like VIPs through the agora, up the steps, past attendants and porters and dignitaries alike, some of which seem to be of extremely high regal rank, and through the initial gates of the high the king's seat in Estoria. It's a long way up, and you see more and more statuaries, some of dragons, some of a few of Astor and his brother Xander, mostly of Pythor as you reach the top. Golden, silver, marble, painted, unpainted. The courtyard there is adorned with depictions, some clearly placed in reverence, some more intently left, and there's also a lot of other beautiful pieces. But it seems like everyone's favorite art tradition is Pythor. How your reception with him will go, who can tell? But you know it was urgent, and we know that we'll handle that next time on Oathsworn, Odyssey the Dragonlords. Thank you all so much for joining us here tonight. Ending a touch early, but exactly where we need to. Thank you all in chat for joining us, supporting us with points, whatever. It does help in the long run. I promise there's some super duper secret thing I'm doing with the amount of donations we get, and keeping track of that. But beyond that, I want to throw a big thank you to everyone sitting around the proverbial fire with me tonight. Your stories are inspirational and wonderful, and just bring me so much joy to tell them with you all. Why, if you could please go around the horn as we introduce ourselves and let the people know who you are, who you're playing tonight, where else we can find you if you're doing anything else. And if not, when we can, the soonest we can all get back together and join this fire once again. I'll throw it over to Comrade.
Hey, Comrade Crash on Twitter and Twitch and stuff. I played Leo, the human paladin. The next time you can catch me is here on TPK. Next Tuesday, I will be playing this one shot, The Heat of the Loss, with Osara X Franco DMing, and it'll be real good fun. Pass it on over to Sir Heck.
All right. Hey everyone, it's me, Sir Heckalot. Tonight I played Calliope, the College of Epic Poetry Siren Bard, who walks the path of the Dragon Slayer. You can find me on all the social medias at Sir Heckalot. So Twitch, Instagram, Itch, all that stuff, including our lovely Discord that you should definitely join. We have a great time there. What was recently shared was a bunch of little images I made of each of the TPK shows as applications, like phone applications. You should definitely check it out. I had a really fun time making them. In terms of where you can find me obviously here every other Tuesday. here every other Thursday for our Tyranny of Dragons campaign, as well as every other Saturday, Neon Lights roleplay for our Seven Sons campaign, which only has about 2 sessions left, you guys. It's absolutely crazy. A lot of us are gods now, kind of. So you won't want to miss it. It's a little wild. But yeah, I think that's all I have. So let's move it on over to HP.
I am the last hit point hero, and tonight I played a Thrynos, the demigod, and Pithor has some answers for me, I hope. We'll see next time, I guess. You can find me DMing Stargate Basilisk this upcoming Friday as the new Basilisk crew comes together in the wake of the crossover. And after that, the Monday after is Phoenix, also getting used to their new crew. That is the immediate plans. Sending it over to Tony.
Hello, I am Tony. I played Eliana. You can't find me because I don't really exist. Haha. I am here again Saturday morning for the Darkest of Echoes. It's something might happen. Who knows? I know, but who knows? And then I think that's still it. That I'm pretty much just doing this and Dark Echoes, but starting in January, I have the Emerald Expeditions dropping, which will be interesting. We will talk more about that as we get closer. So that's it for me. Let's go up to Al.
There we go. Oh, it's Alabitha playing Bonos, the Odyssean rogue and very stealthy, traditional, sneaky character. Fun. That's good. Hooray. I'm about here and there, but mostly here. All the time, every 2 weeks. So do that. That's all the things. That's all the weather. My fantasy football team is 9-1.
Oh,
which
no.
sucks.
What?
I'm heartbroken, and yes,
Oh.
it was all Aaron Rodgers' fault.
Just get a COVID test, dude.
I know. I was furious, but we came
Oh.
back. We came back. It's fine. We'll soldier on. And with that, I'll pass on up to Chrissy.
Hey guys, I'm Chrissy Kritz. I played Defera, or Medusa Warlock. Where can you find me? Here every other Tuesday, Tyranny of Dragons every other Thursday. Madness Calls it Forth every third Monday. And I believe this month there is a surprise Sherlock Investigations episode that is coming up on one Monday.
It is on the calendar.
Sure, I trust you. I know it's a Monday. I'm just not sure which one. I think it might be the next one or the one after. Who knows? Other than that, yeah. Just come check out the Discord, check out the schedule, check out our YouTube, the whole 9 yards. That's it.
Thank you all very much. I am Turk or Turk Accented on Twitch and Twitter. I've had the distinct honor of being your DM, and if you are like me, you feel I do very little with all the wonderful things that everyone here on screen does. I really just get to coast, and I love this session so much. But if you want more of me actively trying to hang on to the coattails of others, I have excellent news. Saturday it will be Dark Echoes, Curse of Strahd campaign. I'll be the good Dr. Von Richten. The 24th, before your chest bursts with stuffing, there's some other things potentially stuffing stomachs in our Aliens, Hubris of Man campaign, which, you know, hopefully there's no chest bursters just yet, but if it does, it's just in time for turkey time. And it's a lot of banter and bullets and good times, and of course the Sherlock one-shot special shell will be there, so it's been a lot of fun. Haven't been able to get in any shell time in a while, so it should be fun to bring that back. And of course Oathsworn will be right back here in the presence of the God King on the 30th, so looking very much forward to that and all of the wonderful things that brings. It's definitely not a session you want to miss. It's definitely not a session you want to miss. Yes. So, of course, check out our Discord, check out our YouTube. If you haven't gotten a chance to check out all of our episodes, even session 0, which is, I'm saying, just as important for lore reasons as anything else. Definitely just support all these wonderful people on the screen because they're all putting out amazing, wonderful art into the world, and they all deserve to be supported. So yeah, thank you all once again for joining us for another adventure in Thylea. And remember that even the gods are bound by fate and prophecy. Good night. HP, please take us out.